All right. Happy Friday. Welcome to Masterfully Integrated. We're super excited to be here. We go live every Friday at 10:30 Eastern. Talk about management, business operations, leadership, and we just try to solve problems. So today, before we get started, I just want to make sure that we're live. So let me just make sure real quick. Okay, it looks like we are. And let's see. All right, awesome. So I'm just going to share this real quick so we can, here we go. And there we go. All right. Okay, so today we are going to go over a couple of things. But the main thing we're going to cover is how we do client boards and how we manage that inside of Trello. So I'm going to share my screen so you can see it, and we'll go over that. Again, I'm Amalie Schaefer. This is Janine Suvak. We are Systematic Excellence Consulting, and this is Masterfully Integrated. So if you're on live, let us know you're on live. Ask us any questions as we're going. And then if you're on and you watch the replay, do a hashtag replay. Let us know you watched it. And again, leave any comments or anything that you have, and we will answer them. So the first thing I'm going to go over, I was actually in reviewing Facebook yesterday, and I saw a question about how to manage if you have like multiple client accounts open at one time. So something I do is I do multiple Chrome profiles. So then I can have, sometimes I'm in Janine's account, sometimes I'm in mine. But if I have two Chrome profiles open, I can actually be in both of our accounts. So I could be in her Facebook and mine, or her Instagram and mine. And it doesn't affect, I can be in her Gmail account and I can be in mine, and it doesn't affect having them both open. So that is a useful tool that I find to be super helpful. So once we're done, I'll put the link to how to set that up in the comments. The other thing that I saw yesterday, people talking about in a Facebook group, or no, maybe it was Wednesday. I don't remember. Anyway, they were asking about different tools to use when you have contractors, or if you're working from home. Some people might start to have to work from home if they get sick or whatever. So some of the things that we use with contractors, as far as specifically tools, are time tracking tools. So we use Toggle. There are some other ones. Harvest, I think, is another one. So time tracking is awesome. Communication tool, we use Slack. Project management tool, obviously we've talked about Trello lots. Having Google Drive, that's one. Janine, can you think of anything? Social media posting tool. So we use Content Studio, but there's lots of different ones for that. So is it Meet Edgar, I think, is one. Buffer. What are some of the other ones? I can't really think of any
Like
other ones right now.
Hootsuite
Yeah,
is just
Hootsuite.
publishing. Yeah.
Yep. So what they allow you to do, Planoly, I mean, there's a ton of them, but anyway, is schedule and post automatically without having to go into every platform and post. So that's another good tool. Depending on what you're hiring the contractor for, I think will kind of dictate the kind of tools you need. But some of the basic ones are the project management tool, a communication tool. Some people prefer Voxer over Slack. But I think we mentioned it on one of our other videos, is if you're going to have more than one tool, you need to state the hierarchy. So if you're going to use, a project management tool, all task communication goes in there. If you're going to use Slack and Voxer, you need to say which one, like you have to establish what line that is for. So if Voxer is just for emergencies, then you need to state that. Or if Voxer is your main communication tool, you also need to state that as well. Can you think of any other tools?
Just going to say one that's kind of rising with the asynchronous communication like Voxer is Marco Polo, and it has that video aspect to it that a
So
lot of
cool.
people like.
Yep. Good call. Yep. So that's another one. So I think those are kind of the basic ones that you need. Google Drive, absolutely, because you can collaborate on documents, which makes life a lot easier. But those are the basic ones I think of that I can think of right now, as far as like what we would use at the very basic, the minimal tools that you need to when you have contractors. I think those are it. So okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to go over, I'm going to share the our hierarchy document one more time, just to go over just to kind of refresh and show how we delegate inside our organization. The example we're going to show you is how we set up the organization, the infrastructure for one of our clients, but we use a similar structure. So I'm just going to share my screen really quickly. Then I'm going to roll into the client board and explain how we've broken that down. Okay, just let me share my screen here. There we go. All right. So let me know. Hold on. I'm just checking to see. Can you see it? Oh, I think I have to. Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. So I wonder if is that big enough to see, you think? Or
you can X me out. It's pretty small, I think.
Okay, let me, I'll just do this. Okay, there we go. Okay, so as you can see, it's actually improved design because we work with a digital marketing agency that does our podcast production. They do all of our social media and copywriting images, and we actually had them create a even better version of the diagram that I showed last time. So here you can see in the center is the project management board, or the project manager board. That's really the dashboard. That's the main place where you can find all the different projects and different things going on. We track training in there. And then it's broken down into agency partners. So the client that we work with, they have agency partners which white label their services. And then beyond them is their clients. So their clients have a board that the agency partners can see, but then we also have a separate setup for our individual teams. So we have a design team, we have a copywriting team, we have a marketing team, and we have our programmers team. And so all of the communication on tasks and back and forth and all of that happens on the side of the team boards. But then what the agency partners see are updates about what's going on with their client projects. The only thing that's missing here is this client does have direct clients. And so that direct client would have their own board. So you would just take out the middle agency partner, and it would go straight to the client. But again, the client's not going to see all the inner workings of, the communication around the tasks and the back and forth and all of that. What they will see is the updates, excuse me, the updates on those things. So I'm going to now show, hold on one second. Let me do this really quickly. So we're going to show you today our direct client board and explain that process. And then if we have time, I will show one of our project boards. So let me share my screen again. Here we go. Okay, and Janine, if I forget anything, please let me know, okay? Okay, so can you see the board that should be in the stream now? So, okay, so we have the client onboarding checklist. The start here is for the client, which has a video on how to use this board, and then it has a how we work document, and then how to submit a work request. That would be anything outside of the initial request that the client puts in if they want something different. And we have a template card for this. So basically we've broken down, they need to they can submit it by email, so they can email the board, and we have it set up that if you go to, let me show this part. So if you go over here to the show menu, and it is the email to board settings, we have it set up so that way whenever anyone emails this, it goes into the work request list. So then the project manager can see that that a work request has been submitted. So the client has an option. They can either email the board and it'll go to the work request list, and then the project manager will get a notification, or they can come in here and create a card from template, and they would just click here, and then this walks them through. So the subject line for the email needs to be additional work request, and then a brief description of the work. The body of the email needs to have whatever that work request is. And then we've actually set up an automation. So when they submit this, there's going to be a comment that gets created that says book a 15-minute call. And we can either tell them we don't need the call, like if the assign or the task just, we don't need to talk about it because they gave us enough detail, fine. If not, we do request that they book a call, and here's the link to do that. And then what we do is then we send them the quote, say, okay, they need a podcast cover done. Okay, well, here's the quote for that. If they accept it, then we move forward with the project. And then they can see all the project plans, and then the project plans, that might be that's usually the overall. So that might be a larger project. So let's say it's a funnel, and then each of those pieces of the funnel gets broken down so that they can see what's in progress. And then when things are ready for review, it goes here. And then if there's revisions needed based on what the client has asked, then the client would put the card here. And then if they approve it, they'll put it there. And then the last piece of that is once it's completed. And then the last piece is the weekly updates for the client. So that is, that's the breakdown there. We included the instructions for how to email the board. And then the project phase template card, that's for the project manager. So that's the card that she uses in order to put that project plan together. So when we say the next breakdown is the, let's see, I'll show the, okay, we'll go over the logo creation because that's pretty good. So if someone has, comes to us and they want a logo creation, we will create a duplicate of this board. And in these cards is for the project manager to plan out a larger project. And so in the initial brief, that would be what the client is telling us they need. So it's going to have the link to the video that we recorded from the call that we had with the client. It's going to include the client's social media links, their website links, and then the link to the folder for any assets that the client provided for us. And then this is the initial kind of start of the project checklist. And this is, again, for the project manager. And then from here, she would then task to the design team for what's next. So this says, you're going to copy the board, you're going to rename it how we use the naming structure that we use inside of the business. And then you're going to add it to the project management board. So again, all of the tasks will eventually make their way to the project management board because that's where the project manager sees everything. Then provide a brief for the logo creation, and then you save the description in the description area of the card up here. Then you include the Google Drive link. So everything we do with clients is we do everything on Google Drive. We create the Google Drive folder that they use for their clients, and then or for themselves, sorry, and then they upload everything there, and any deliverables we make for them go into the same folder. So we use the folder the whole time, and so it's in every task just for reference if the client needs to find it or if the team needs to find it. And then we just remove the project manager instructions from the description area. That way, we know it's done. Then you rename the card, and then you delegate to design. And then it goes through its phases. So the first part is research in the first sketch. Then it goes into ready for client review. then if there's any revisions requested. So the client won't see this particular board, but the project manager will. This is how she manages what phase the project is in. And so then the communication, like once if something's ready for client review, she then takes that information, that deliverable. So if it's a logo, she'll put it onto the client board in the ready for revision ready for review list. And then once the client's done, then she brings it back over here, moves it to whether there's revisions requested, or if it's approved, then it'll go to detailing. What the client will see is that it's been ready for review. Once they approve it, then it goes into the next phase. And there are comments and things that go between, but everything stays in that task card. So then the project manager will then take, if the client leaves comments on their client board, she'll take those comments. She makes sure that they're on the project board, which is this board. And then she also puts the comments onto the team's board. So the team just manages their board and the tasks that get put there. And then the project manager is moving it through here. So detailing, and then once it's done detailing, then it's ready for client review. Then it goes to if there's any revisions requested, and then final revisions, and then again, client review, and then it goes to completed. So that goes through how the process works. But again, this is where the project manager will manage the project. The dashboard is so she can get a glimpse of what's going on all across the board. So the types of project boards that we have, I can stop sharing my screen now. I'm going to bring Janine back here. Hold on. Oh, there we are. Okay. I think you're back. Okay, there you are. So the types of projects that we'll use these for are funnels, websites, logo creation, animation creation. I don't know. What am I missing as far as the different projects that we use? I was just trying to...
Well, I mean, really any
kind
of
podcast.
I was going to say any of those, the graphic design kind of things, the audio and video production we use them for, the content multiplication type of thing, we use them for those as well.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. So if we, the client does a lot of content repurposing, that's the content multiplying. And so we have certain project boards, and why we decided to split those two is because each of the larger projects, like one client might have 3 large projects going on, and each of them needs their own checklists and their own process and things like that. But then they all need to come together for the client to see what's in progress. But the client doesn't need to see all of the things happening. The client just needs to get the updates, know when things are ready for review. So that's why we separated it out. And it's the project manager's job to make sure that all those pieces are updated. And although I guess maybe it seems like it's a lot more, but when you're in it and you have multiple client projects going on, one client has multiple projects and then you have multiple clients, it helps to spell out the small tasks for each of those things. And so then you have the project management dashboard that has everything going on. And on the project management dashboard, the card, we have a list that's for all active projects. And if a client has a project, it'll just be one card that links to the board instead of having all those tasks in there to make it kind of overwhelming and cluttered. We just have the card. So the board that I just showed you would be one card on the project manager's dashboard that says Janine Suvac logo creation project. And then the project manager just has to click on the card, go to the link inside there, and it'll take her straight to the project board so she can get a quick update of what's going on with that. And we've spent quite a few hours kind of going through and figuring out how to best make this happen. So that way we can get quick updates, but we can also have each project broken down into the tiny little details, because I think that's super important. There's different checklists, different phases of projects. And if you start to put podcast production, a website, a funnel, and a logo creation all in one board, I mean, it would just be super overwhelming. So the way we've broken it down, I think, works best. If you have any questions, please let me know. I tried to go through it kind of quickly because I didn't want to take up a lot of time. We want to try to keep these lives, to 20 minutes or so. So hopefully that was helpful. Janine, did I miss anything when I was going through that?
No, I wanted to just give another example around the communications and the hierarchy, where just the importance of minimizing the number of channels of communication that you have going. So in your project management tool, you want to capture all the comments around all the tasks in the project there. And then in this instance, it's Trello. And then alternatively, something like Slack would be where you would have your non-project related around your team training or other operational issues. Just as an example, besides emergencies outside of the project board.
Right. Yeah. Good call. Thank you for that. So with that said, I'll just put a quick plug. Janine and I do offer services to set up these kinds of boards. We have templates, so we can offer them as an option if you want to have us set up these templates, but we also offer customized services as far as if you have different kinds of processes that need to be translated into a project management tool. Please let us know if you're looking to hire someone for that. We are happy to jump on a call and give you what we think is the best solution. Like I said, we have templates and we can do customized work. So comment below, reach out to one of us, send us a PM, whatever is easiest if you are looking for support with that. Next week, we are going to go over an OFA board. So I've seen a lot of people commenting. There seems to be a lot of people involved in One Funnel Away. So what we did was, because we've gone through it, we've taken what we've learned and broken it down into a process similar to what we showed you today. And we're going to go over that. And then, if you guys have questions or if anyone's going through it, please let them know to watch next week, 10:30 Eastern on Friday. We're going to go over the layout for the One Funnel Away board that we've created. So again, leave us a comment. Let us know if you watch the replay, and we will look forward to seeing you guys next week. Have a great day.
See you
Bye.
next week. Bye.